I remember the first time I ever said something funny in prison, and it was on a Saturday. I got up, everybody in the day room with the prison face, everybody frustrated, and I came out and I said, I walked on the run, and I ain't even go downstairs. I stood on the run. I said, hey, why y'all in here, man? Ain't nobody going home today. And I went back and slammed my door. I said, man, y'all gotta, and I hollered out, y'all gotta enjoy the moment. and they, man, he's silly, man. And then every day I would wake up with something silly to say.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just read something too where it was a child predator that they talked with, and they said, how did you pick the kid?
This is exactly where I was going. If the father wasn't a threat, he saw the father as no threat.
Yep.
But see, they can go there and say that, but you won't take it from me who was there with them, that sat down and talked to them and tell you how they operate. Sometimes you can give somebody some advice and they never do it. You're like, so would you just wasting my time?
Yeah. And Dick Gregory one of those?
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of those. If you don't be ungrateful for the person's time, I'm gonna say everything I need to say now. I'm not going to be so careless in thinking that, oh, I got time to say it tomorrow. If you understand life, it's only one guarantee that you will die.
Your partner, Big Boy, Big Boy's Neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. Off air, I've been waiting on this one. Ali Siddiq. Welcome, my brother.
What's up?
Now, Ali, let me know, am I saying your name correct? Because you know I got fooled one time before from one of the homies,
right? yeah, Toby let you just say that. No, you saying me right.
Okay, cool. All right.
Because you're not saying Ali or Ali, you saying Ali Siddiq.
Siddiq.
Yeah.
Is that your birth name?
Yes.
Really, though?
But it's Siddiq Ali.
Oh, Siddiq Ali. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You changed it for entertainment?
Yeah, because people couldn't say Siddiq for some reason.
But
so I just switched Ali, and then they still say it wrong.
Oh, and now you're Ali?
Yeah. They say my name all kind of crazy ways.
Not on the check though, right?
No, they got to write the check to the company.
Okay, so you good?
None of that's in my name.
So you good to go. That's what I was trying to do. I expose people credit.
Yeah, Now What's Funny. Go to write the check to Now What's Funny. Company.
Hey man, had you always been funny?
No.
No.
I'm still not funny.
You're still not funny. What are you? Because we'll classify you as funny. Like, I think long form conversation and sparking people, like, I could sit and listen and watch you all day, but you don't think you're funny?
Not yet.
You working to funny?
I'm working to it.
Why would you say that?
That's what keep you motivated and going. I don't ever think that I just have it. I'm still working towards it. You know, if you look at a jazz musician, or you look at a boxer, somebody in a craft, or you look at a artist, they're never finished.
Right.
If you ever watch Floyd train, when he was 45 and old, he was still doing the same thing when he was 1-0. And when he was 50-0, you still hear somebody, keep that hand up. He's still going through the regimen. He starts the same way, warm up, speed bag, heavy bag, jump rope. He starts the same way. And then he paces. It's the same constant thing. It's a great artist is constantly going. This is not his best work. He don't know what his best work is yet.
So you can feel your best work is yet to come.
Yeah,
and always sharpening up yourself.
And I keep challenging myself. So this one, and then I'm working on two different planes. Being funny and being interesting. It's two different lanes. You watch realistically for interest.
Right.
That's why you say long form. Something can be funny like in a snap second, but you're looking like, and then you're this is like almost like regular conversation that you're watching.
Because even right now, I was talking about My Two Sons, right? And instantly, I put myself into scenarios that you build. And really, when I watch Ali, it's more, I'm like, I'm taking my time as I'm watching you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because the conversation that you get, your pacing, like you're not punchline, punchline. And have you ever been that guy, or when did you find your so-called comfort zone that you're working on now?
2007, 8.
What kind?
DL. And this is the tree that I fall from in comedy, which is different than other people. They don't know what tree they come from. So when I look at the tree, the base is Dick Gregory. He's the base, the roots. Then all the branches are Cosby. Then you have the leaves. Then you have the fruit. So DL is the leaves that start to grow, and then those turn into fruit. You start seeing the buds come from that fruit. DL told me the funniest you'll ever be is based on how honest you want to be. A lot of comics are not living, and just artists in general, not living in truth. They are living in what they want to represent versus their actual truth. So even I was talking to one of my friends, and he said, man, you the first person that I've ever even heard say that you wasn't, the reason why how you end up selling drugs is because you wasn't strong enough mentally to avoid the bad influences outside. Because you say, this is what, from when I look at Domino Effect, this is always what's standing to me. Hey man, I ain't even had to sell drugs. My mama had a job.
Yeah.
So my thing was honoring your ancestors, honoring your family. Once you get into this, it's like, how do people not look at us a certain way when we all try to have the same unhonorable story? Like nobody ever told you nothing good. You come from some destitute family. And then when you look at you rather sell this image and disrespect your family. This is disrespect to your whole entire family. Your mom, your dad, even if your dad wasn't there, even if your mom was there. So your aunts, your grandmother, your uncle, nobody ever told you nothing good, huh? You just was some person that was born and left on the street, and you just been grimy your whole life. So then now this take away from your family. So no teachers, no nothing, nobody in your community ever. That's what you would rather people see us as, some uneducated, abandoning community. You rather sell that than to say that you wasn't strong enough to avoid these bad influences.
When you were doing comedy, when DL tells you that, like tap into your truth, what was your comedy before? And even before that, Ali, when did you start comedy? Because of course we're always around certain things, and we know comedians and we could tap in.
1997, December the 4th is the first time I was ever on stage.
Why do you remember that date?
Because I always go back to how determined I was when I got out of prison. See, people don't realize they can say about somebody else, but they don't understand where I'm from. So I go, when I say, oh, I was locked up at 19, they don't understand I was locked up 4 days after I turned 19. So October 17th is my birthday. October 21st, I'm locked up. So I'm only 4 days on the street at 19.
Mm-hmm.
So all of 19, I'm gone until 25. So I get out October 21st of 1997. I find a job. I start working. I find a comedy club by December the 4th. I got out October.
Mm-hmm.
December the 4th, I'm on stage at Just Joking Comedy
Did
Cafe.
you go in with Comedy Dreams, though?
I came out with that.
But you didn't go in
No.
with Comedy Dreams.
I'm in the streets hustling.
Right.
And
did anybody tell you, like, oh, even on the block, like, man, oh, he funny?
Yeah, after about 2 years. Because I wasn't funny the first 2 years.
Right. I'm talking about just on the outside block, like just hanging out with the homies.
This is what I'm saying. So
got you.
The first 2 years, I'm just a wild man in prison. Then something dawns on me, man, I don't want to do my time like this. I have to revert back to who I was as a kid. Before being in the streets and all that. The honest person that I was as a kid, which is the kid that's on the back of the bus.
Mm-hmm.
I can Jones. We call it ranking where I'm from. I can Jones. I'm pretty upbeat. Man, I'm not scared of nobody, so I can fight. So, but why? Why did I need to fight? First of all, why are you bothering me?
Right.
Why are you over bothering me, bro?
Like, why are you unleashing this?
Like, man, you tripping, man. So when I reverted back to that, I decided, you know something? I'm not finna be frustrated here. I'm gonna say the things that everybody's thinking, they not saying them out loud. And I in my new special, I'm getting ready to record in February. I go back to this day. I said, I remember the first time I ever said something funny in prison, and it was on a Saturday. I got up, everybody in the day room with the prison face, everybody frustrated, and I came out and I said, I walked on the run, and I ain't even go downstairs. I stood on the run. I said, hey, why y'all in here mad? Ain't nobody going home today.
Right.
And I went back and slammed my door. I said, man, y'all gotta, and I holler out, y'all gotta enjoy the moment. and they, man, he's silly, man. And then every day I would wake up with something silly to say that they was like.
And they were probably looking forward to it.
And this was the thing. It got to the point where I don't understand that I'm a lot of people's bright day. And they looking for me to say something. Lee, look. And I'm like, and then here I go. And I go off on a tangent. And they be like, man, this little dude here is ridiculous. But you gonna try to fight him? Y'all do know that he got them hands. And then if you bother him, I'm gonna bother you, because this is what
we need this.
And if you trying to Jones, and especially if somebody was in there rapping, I'd be like this. And I'll just say, man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You ain't did. Now you lying. And then right in somebody line. I'll be like, now you lying. So you did all that. You ain't.
So you saying what we thinking?
If you getting in a fight and I want to know why. I just was questioning, like, so y'all about to fight. Okay. For what now again? And now I'm talking, hey man, this boy trying to fight this boy behind. I'm finna make it, you finna seem crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, boy, I hope he whoop your ass too.
How do you find that when everything is mean mugging, or when you when you programming like that? How do you find the funny out of something that's so serious?
Being challenging. Because somebody in there mean mugging, and I'd be like, boy, you ain't even like that. Like, What? Like your face. Like you're not even like that. You know, I saw you when you came in here. You know, I work in the front office. I saw you. Scared, trembling. And I wasn't trembling. Man, come on, baby lamb legs. I saw you. And now you got me talking noise and people, they just laughing. And I'm like, I don't know what he laughing for. He was the same way. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how big you are. Even if I had to make it up. Well, this boy here, scared. I saw him. I almost whooped him. He was like, Lee, you ain't did nothing to me. I'm like, come on now, Cowboy fan. You ain't got to do nothing. And that's where I was really awful. I rooted against the Cowboys with gusto. I'm talking about.
And you were in Texas.
Yeah. Oh, I was the only person that was going for the Knicks when they was playing the Rockets. Man, and I never forget that, because if everybody's on the same side, you have no opposition. But I'm an actual Knick fan.
Right.
So I'm going at them about the Rockets, and then you couldn't make me mad about my team. Your team sorry sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Take the power right out of that.
Sometimes. And I'm not engulfed enough to fight you behind some people that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And my go-to was send a large on a money slip, see if he send you some money. Mm-hmm. Send Troy Aikman money slip. I just gave you 2 soups. Don't try to have an attitude with me. So I was just tapped into my environment. And I could say almost anything because everybody understands this. And I'm not saying anything in here with malice.
Right.
I don't have anything against anybody. It's just that I can't allow you to be frustrated all day because that's going to create a negative environment. I'm not with it.
How do you take that, knowing that you didn't have this going in? You know, how do you come out with that? And some people say, "Oh man, you know, I'm so behind," because you figure from 19 to 25, that's a lot of real human sponge years. Yeah. You know, that's when you're a teenager, you can still crash the car, you can still get away with certain things, but how do you come home and hit the ground running when not others don't, but others don't? Usually some people get programmed, man, and that's just the way it is. And everybody have a plan in their head when they come out and you even speak it into existence and people are like, man, you'll be back.
Yeah. They didn't understand anger. See, when you have displaced anger and you don't have mental fortitude, you lack preparation, and with lacking preparation, you don't have determination. You're not determined to do something. And it's the flip side of it, right? If you was determined to do wrong and nothing deters you from doing wrong, why you can't be determined to do right and don't let nothing deter you from doing right? See, I started prepping myself for the hard part of it inside. I got so unacclimated to prison that I'm not here. I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm preparing myself for outside. I'm not living in this space. I don't have to do it on prison terms because the reason why they tell you you're going to come back because they see that you're acclimated to this. I never liked it. And I would complain. I would complain. They were like, so man, when y'all gonna get some personal showers, man? All this community showering just ain't working for me. To the guards, the guards is like, hey man, something's wrong with him because he says, I never been this captain. So you know what? When I know you was crazy, that they had this thing where we on Ellis 1, they call it a stale. Yeah, Ellis 2, they call it a stale unit. You would have to walk inside the yellow line, and you would hear this captain screaming, "Inside the yellow line!" inside the yellow line. So I'm walking down and everybody's going to eat. And I notice nobody's outside the yellow line. So I walk outside the yellow line. And he, Ali, on the wall. And he came up and said, did you not hear me say inside the yellow line? I said, yeah, man, you don't really know somebody trying to help you out. He said, what? I said, when I look, you was saying inside the yellow line, and nobody was outside the yellow line. So I just got outside the yellow line because I didn't want you to be hollering for no reason.
Right.
He like, hey, man, stay right here until everybody else eat, which is now the worst thing in the world. Now you done put the class clown in the hallway and everybody walking down and he, inside the yellow line, I'm here. Inside the yellow line, he don't like nobody outside the yellow line. I need to stop talking. I'm there. It's crazy. Hey, boy, your pants short. This is me. On you walking and I'm walking. Ooh, they gave you the wrong pants, huh? I need to stop talking. I'm like, but you put me inside the house. Okay, all right. Nah, I can't see that. He's screaming. I can't see that. And he's like, you know something? I don't even know why I stopped him. I say, I can tell you, though, Cap. Because you screaming inside of your line. And then I walked outside.
Yeah.
He's like, just go. I'm like, but you. So now you don't want to talk to me no more. And this is me every day now. It's
Could
like,
they see the fun in it though?
because I was a peacemaker almost thing. I'll never forget, I'm the SSI, the janitor, right? On F block. And this is the lockdown block. They lock down 23 hours a day. And then they put me over there as a punishment. They put me over there, you gonna be the because you gotta work by yourself. And it's 3 runs. And I'm like, there. Okay, no problem. Went over there and I surveyed the whole situation. Folks have been in there locked up for a long time. And it's just the runs stank and they flood the run, they'll throw feces on you. Man, it was just bad. And I would sit there and read the paper. And I said, hey, I'm only cleaning up 3 times while I'm over here. Y'all can do what y'all want to do. Y'all can throw these trays out. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. It has nothing to do with me. I'm going to come 3 times. I sit there and read the paper. Dude, hey, man, let me see some of that paper. I said, sir, what I'm not finna do is give you some of this paper and then you set it on fire. This is what they don't give y'all stuff. This is one of the reasons. So I tore the sheet of paper in half. I said, you read that and you give that back to me. Yeah. And then I give you the other side. So now it's the next dude want to read it. I said, so you read it, you pass it down. And when I collect all things at the end, then I give y'all another piece of the paper. But what y'all not gonna do is set this run on fire. I want to give y'all 1 square of toilet paper at a time versus giving you the roll. But I gotta give you the roll because I don't trust y'all. So now I'm on this block and they would bring the laundry and they would bring the worst underwear to them. I knew the dude in the laundry. I went down to the laundry. I said, hey, when you do the laundry for closed custody, put me all new underwear. I go down, I said, hey man, everybody come to the run. Your father's buying you new drawers today. Yeah, my daddy. When you get these new drawers, just let me hear about when you get these new drawers. So now I'm coming past our new drawers and they thankful. Hey man, appreciate you. Now, I said, man, what other complaints do y'all have? Man, when they bring our food cold. Okay. Let me go down here, talk to the guys in the kitchen. Hey man, when y'all put them trays in there, how about, man, make sure the food hot, bro. Y'all making it hard for me down here. Man, make sure the food hot. Man, Lee, we got you. Oh, now, and I'm telling the CEOs, don't sit their box out there. Soon as the box come, Bring it in so I can start serving them. Let's not do this, bro. You making it hard over here. So now they got clean underwear, got hot food. They reading the paper. I'm making it, hey man, I'm going to bring something to somebody from commissary that got the cleanest cell. You got all these people now that's got somebody that's coming over here with something outside of just cleaning up when they messing up. So now Martin is on. I'm watching Martin so intense because I'm coming over perform, because they ain't got no TV. I'm coming over doing Martin, doing all the characters. You know what I'm saying? And they had to run. What happened? Hey man, you messing me up, man. I'm trying to remember. So
this is like the boom boom room. Like remember that scene in Life where he just painted a picture for them and I'm working the door. You got that liquor and man, be quiet. Like in their heads.
This is happening. Now Martin goes off. I'm doing commentary about what's happening in the prison that they don't see. Holding my broomstick, they had the runs, and I'm being me. Now, I don't know how important this is. I'm sleep on my block. Captain come. We need you. Say, what's up? They flooding the block in closed custody. What? I'm talking about all three run, they flooding the block, and these boys going off. I'm like, what's y'all want me to do? I get up, I come over there, and they wilding. And I said, hey, what's going on? The other SSI on the night shift mistreating him. And they making a mess for him to clean up out of state. I said, y'all done lost y'all goddamn mind. I said, hold on. I told the CEO, I said, man, get him. I got it. I said, man, y'all unclog them damn toilets. All night, I'm over there cleaning up, fussing like a mama. Just right here got me, just right here. Man, we ain't even do it to you. Yeah, y'all black ass did it. But I'm over there having a good time with them. And it meant more for them to see me than what the COs could do. And they not trying to hear that. You're not finna mistreat us because we in close custody. You locked up in here too. They wasn't accepting no more bad abuse from other inmates. They not accepting it from the COs. They in here for not accepting stuff. That's why they in close custody. So me understanding this how you treat people and how you say things, and they know I had no malice towards them. So I could come over there and get on, hey, bruh, hey man, when that CO come over and man, stop masturbating, you nasty ass. And now I'm not even just, I'm like how families are. Like my mama, if I got in trouble, my mama's brothers and all them come, man, you stay in California. Why you gossiping about my business? It's like, now I'm telling everybody on the run, hey, y'all know cell 13, nasty butt nigga there.
How do you not get rolled up? You know what I mean? Like, how do you not, they understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no malice with me. And then I'm the one that's treating you well. I'm the, like,
and you the only one that can so-called get away with this or do this or have this camaraderie because you built it.
Hey, and it's building relationships in there. And you talking about somebody getting mad. Man, if you bother me, oh man, I feel for you. Because you think it's me. No, it's 20, 30 dudes that I done helped do something that nobody else helped them do, and you bother me, okay. And I'm like, okay, whatever you, bro, however you feel. While you talking crazy, you not realizing that this dude who ain't said nothing is looking right in your face. He ain't broke eye contact with you yet. He just looking like this. So you do know this man works in the front office, and I had a case, and I've been waiting for them to call me for this case. And I've been waiting for 3 months for them to call me for this case. And then I done decided to finally come in there and say, boy, you know how tight your ass is wait on that case. Man, yeah, they ain't called me yet. I said, they ain't gonna call you. Man, what you do? I've been through that case away. I've been through it away. I'm working in front office. I've been tore that shit up and threw that away and put it in the paper shredder. That's been gone, bro. I just let you sweat it out. But you've been behaving right, though.
Right.
I say, you see the difference? You can't keep continuously doing the same thing trying to get some different results. Bro, you're going to have to change. So people don't realize that I was the Islamic coordinator in prison. You don't realize I'm over the Muslims. And before I was over the Muslims, somebody else was over. I've been a good follower, so they led me to be a good leader. And I got in position because I didn't want it. We always put somebody in a position that don't want the position.
I don't want to lead. I don't want to have it.
Man, I'm cool. I'm chilling. They're like, nah, bro, you got. I don't want to.
Were you Muslim before you went in?
I was playing. See, that's the thing about the word. Everybody is Muslim. They don't realize it because of the definition of the word. We've heard the word so much that we think the word is a person, but it is a person. The meaning of being Muslim is the one who submits his will to the Creator. So no matter what you follow, are you submitting your will? Now, are you Islamic?
Right.
It's different. Islam, the peace. That's what the word means. So it's a thing. If we talk about things as if they don't have definitions, then yeah, you opposed to everything. So if you go somewhere else that speak another language, the word for the one who submits his will to the Creator, you're going to be called Muslim. Period. If you're trying to be in a state of peace, you're going to be called Islamic. The peace. Jihad means to struggle. To struggle. But jihad of nafs is the greatest of jihads. It means the struggle with self. This is what these people are going through in prison, and this is what most people go through in the world, is a jihad of nafs.
The struggle
of self. What you desire. Because I think people don't understand that we have a superpower. Like they believe in superheroes. They don't understand everybody has a power. So you have the power as human being. You have the power of free will. If you believe in angels, the malaikas don't have free will. They just do exactly what's being said. That's why it's asked, are you going to create a lesser creation? A lesser creation, which is the human being, the malaika, because who you can't argue with? You can't argue with the angel of death. He don't give you no more time. Mikhail don't give you no more time. The angels who record your deeds, they never miss anything. They don't take no breaks. They're not scrolling on their phone. They're not doing nothing. Yeah. And with the people talk about, you got God on one side, the devil on the other. No, you have an angel that records all of your good deeds and an angel that records all of your bad deeds. And then you have another stenographer that comes right out of your mouth. Like I'm catching everything. And don't realize how your testimony is going to be. We are so caught up in thinking that we have ownership over our body. So when you pass and your ruh is brought out, your spirit is brought out. And they showed you this in Ghost, the movie Ghost. They know this. They just show you in entertainment form. So in Ghost, you had people who died peacefully.
Right.
This means that your ruh, this was extracted from your feet out your body normally. Then you had the ones who died very foul. Mm-hmm. And you had all your ruh is ripped out of you different way. They showed you this in the movie Ghost. So now, where you're not going to be able to be missed with anything, Day of Yama Kiyama. You go up Day of Judgment. You're not going to be able to speak, but your body will. Oh, I did this. No, Creator. He did this with his hands. He walked this way with his feet. All of your limbs are going to testify against you what you did with them. And people don't realize this because most people still think on the same. It's kind of like when I look at people in line. They haven't changed since they was in elementary school. So they stand in line tight, like they in a concentration camp. That's how they teach you how to stand in school. Just keep the line tight, y'all. Which is the same way they teach you in prison. But you won't give each other space. Because it's like you was trained not to respect people's space as a kid. So this is how you stand in Starbucks. And you like, say, man, you don't want to, you ain't in the same position. So if somebody asks most people, who is the enemy to the Creator? They'll say the devil. Shaitan. And I laugh in their face.
Why?
How is the Creator, how is creation an enemy? You're not even an opposed. And they say it. They say that Shaitan came and asked God for respite to prove, because his whole thing is about jealousy. Mm-hmm. He's jealous of man because he was made first. Mm-hmm. So in Genesis, when people talk about, it's a male and female, right? Which was when they made the jinn out of scalding wind. Oh, I don't. That's Adam. No, it's not Adam. Because if you go to Genesis 2, when the Creator is talking to the Malaika, he said, "I'm about to create man from clay." Two different creations. Bow down to Adam. That wasn't the angels. That was the jinn that didn't want to bow down. Which is, Shaitan is a jinn. He's not a fallen angel. He's a jinn. And if you stop reading it in English, which is the folk language tongue, and they hear a lot, read it in the original scripture that it was written in, and you will see he's a jinn. So the jinn, Iblis, comes to the Creator and asks for respite to prove that the insan, that the human being is not a greater creation than him. And he tells you, the Creator tells you, you're going to be attacked. He say, Shaitan says, I'm going to attack man with three things: his women, his children, and his wealth. So Allah tells you, if you can control your private area and your tongue, you'll reach paradise. And these are two things that people have a problem controlling. They private area and they tongue. And it's inside when you're explaining things to people and you giving them a different outlook. I don't care how Christian you are, how Jewish you are, how Buddhist you are. Let's talk about the commonalities of hierarchy and what you should refrain from, because you didn't get here being a good Muslim, being a good Buddhist, being a good anything. You got here by jihad al-nafs, your own desires that you could not control.
Did you know this? And I won't say your entire life, but is this something that you studied early or knew early, or did you kind of tap in either in incarceration, reading more, or where did that knowledge come from?
Reading more.
Mm-hmm. As an adult?
As really, I'm still a child, just reading more and tapping into my common sense, what's actually right. Sometimes you don't have to read it. Sometimes you have to understand that your natural innate ability is to be good. Because this is all you've actually really been told.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Now you trying to act like we come from some buffoons. Nobody told you to do nothing bad. Nobody say, hey, groomed you in being awful.
And innate, you see that in the babies. You see that in the kids until, and everything is kind of taught. Like that baby didn't come out and use an N-word, or this baby didn't come out with a gun in its hand, or, this baby didn't come out and, start robbing at the age of 2 or anything like that. So, yeah.
And if you, so I used to be practicing a different form. I don't even call it Islam no more, because it wasn't a form of Islam. It was something that sounded good to me. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And as I grew, and like, hey man, that ain't even what my dad was practicing. It's like we just became, I'm gonna say, an orphan of the movement. It ain't like, I got on a dashiki, but not realizing that a dashiki is a work shirt. This came from the Dutch. This ain't even,
until you know.
Until you know. Your daddy black, you black power. You like, you sell cocaine. And it ain't got nothing to do with what I'm doing though. Like,
hey brother, let me talk to you for a second, brother. Let me talk.
Yeah, so it's like my dad didn't have full knowledge of what he was doing either. And so when you progress in your knowledge, my dad would listen to me and he was like, yo, man, I wish I had gotten what I say, you taught me how to play chess at 6, right? You had the wherewithal to teach me how to think strategy, because you played chess. You didn't know that I was going to actually pick it up and constantly do it and take chess and move it into life.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask that.
That's you kind of strategize on how you gonna move. And I'm me still having these jihads, like with, I don't even say it's a jihad when it comes to anger. I gotta be better with, like Dick Gregory told me this, hey man, you gotta be better managing your anger, because a lot of your anger comes from disappointment.
Dick Gregory told you that?
Yeah.
Like Dick Gregory to you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Me. 2 Libras talking. And he told me I was gonna have to learn to balance. Because what you expect, you're not gonna get. Ali, you operating on a different energy. People are not direct and brave enough to say what you say. If you say no, you say no. If you explain something, you explain it. Like with me, if somebody asks me how to become a comic, it takes me 2 or 3 days to get back with you. Because I'm not going to give you the cookie cutter.
Right.
Hey man, just stay on stage, keep plugging at it, keep
stay on your grind,
stay writing.
Yeah,
no, I'm not gonna give you that. Because before I give you this advice, I have to ask the questions that I need to know in order to give you the right prescription.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? What's the pathway? Do you want to be a comedic actor? Do you want to be in movies? You want to write? I can't help you with that.
Right. So you don't give them cookie cutter.
I can help you with stand-up. I can help you with stand-up. I can't help you become a comedic actor. Because that's not my lane. I can direct you to somebody who can do that. And I'm very honest about my strengths and the things that need to be strengthened. I'm dyslexic, so it takes me a minute to I don't like cold reads.
Right.
Give it to me. Let me see it. Let me digest it. Don't put me on no teleprompter. You got words moving. They're already moving. Still.
Already.
Yeah. They already moving still. Do I make it a handicap?
Was that a problem for you growing up?
Yeah, man. That was before I knew what it was. I was embarrassed about it. Like, yo, man, I know I can read by myself. Why I can't read out loud? Why? What is the and this is the thing about when people accept stuff. TV is an idiot box. I can't accept that. Just like I didn't accept that Hollywood was diminishing the black image. I couldn't accept that because when I look back, me growing up, where were the negative black shows at when I was growing up? I learned so much from TV. It's not an idiot box. It's the idiot that's in front of the box. It's what you're watching.
Do you think we call a lot of that the idiot box now in Rewind? And the reason, and by that I mean, I love Good Times. I love That's My Mama. I love What's Happening. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I watch those as a weekly, not once they got to syndication. But now we'll look back and we'll say, oh, they lived in the project. But you didn't find the story of the father, son, the provider. You know, so I think in Rewind, we say a lot of that sometimes too.
Did what was they known as the Evans what?
Evans family.
Okay. Did they have a mother and a father?
Yep.
It was in the project with a mother and a father.
Yep.
Who got in trouble?
No one. JJ tried to join the gang, but yeah. Pops was on him.
Pops was on him. So even in struggle, family, mother, father, Cosby Show. What did they have?
Family, mother and father.
And they was known as the Cosby. The
family.
Cosbys.
The Cosbys, yep.
Yeah. Which is a family, which is plural. Nobody's singular. They had a mother and a father. Nobody's in trouble. When Theo was trying to be in trouble, that's how I learned about being dyslexic, with Theo.
Damn, that's crazy. So you recognized you on TV.
This is why I knew when a man was trying to be inappropriate with me from Different Strokes with Dudley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I learned a lot of things. I know how to problem solve from the Cosby kids. Fat Albert.
Yeah.
So the Jeffersons. Lionel had a mother, father, huh? They moved up. Interracial couple, mother and father. Okay. Sanford and Son. Father and son in business together. And she was so present that you felt like she was there. Elizabeth.
Right, Elizabeth.
That's My Mama. Lived next door with his mother. What was the barbershop? Connected to the house. Who barbershop was it? His father's.
But shit, what about shows like What's Happening? I love What's Happening.
That
showed the strong single mom too.
Strong single mom with the brother being the lead. Didn't worry about father not being there when he came back around.
Yeah.
So
And
One
even
show,
with Raj is a studious genius tutor.
Studious genius.
Gotcha.
D is a strong, sassy mouth sister. They hung out at one place with two friends. Community. Now they showing Community. So 1 show out of 6, they showed Sanford's son was a single father. That's my mom was a single mother. That husband died. Mother died. Still pushing through. Now, what was the negativity in it? But I watched a group home, and they didn't portray them as bad. And I didn't see their mother and father at all. I saw, what's her name? Miss Griffin?
Yeah. For Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
Yeah. Miss Garrett.
Miss Garrett.
Yep.
You didn't see their mother and father at all.
Right. Come by the school, I think, for a visit. But were you raised, was there a lot of television in your house?
Yes, you had to watch TV. I grew up, now this is the thing about you live with your mama. That's a really loaded statement, because I'm growing up watching a show with my mama. One of the richest men on television live with his mama. But they're called an estate though.
Right.
Which is Dallas. J.R. Ewing lived with his mama. J.R. and Bobby lived on the same estate with his mother. Father passed. So it gave me this. Black people see moving away from their family as success, and they see staying with their family and expanding as success. Crazy. So moving away from the people who really love and care about you,
right,
and having disdain for your mama, having disdain for your daddy, having disdain for your brothers and sisters. I just don't like being around them, and you know that your heart on knobs. What are you trying to do? Put yourself in danger. 97% of violent crimes happen to women and children. You more likely to be assaulted as a woman who somebody sees has no protection. No protection.
Yeah.
That man said he.
You know what? I just read. I don't mean to cut you off, but I just read something too where it was a child predator that they talked with, and they said, "How did you pick the kid?"
This is exactly where I was going. If the father wasn't a threat, he saw the father as no threat.
Yep.
But see, they can go there and say that, but you won't take it from me, who was there with them, that sat down and talked to them and tell you how they operate. I can tell you how they operate because I sat down and talked to them, which are the weakest of people in prison. That's why they keep them away from us, because we will even the terms. A child predator, a child molester, a rapist, they don't put them down there in general pop with us. Right. Because we will even the score. Somebody who you feel is so foul, sold drugs, murdered somebody, guess what? Send them down here. Send them down here. And we're going to make an example. We won't let you get back to the street.
Ali, how do you take life and turn it into a man with a microphone? Because there's roads, and people say, man, that there's roads, and I think we all come to this road. I came to it that you could say, all right, there's a fork in the road. And people say, oh, it's written, and sometimes things are written, but sometimes you in that book of life, you get that blank page, and then you got to write what the next few chapters or what the book look like, right? With some people could just say, woe is me, the world is against me, shit is fucked up. You know, how do you take that and say, man, I got out in October And by December, was it 4th?
December 4th.
December 4th, I'm on stage. Who tells you to get on stage? Who tells you you're funny? Is it you?
Big boy, I'm gonna be honest with you. Very well placed anger. Like people who've heard me speak and children who I've talked to and adults who I've talked to, I will never tell you not to get mad. What I'm going to tell you is to place that anger, because anger is an energy, place it in the right direction. Everything I've ever accomplished is because somebody pissed me off and said that I couldn't do something. The mitigated gall of somebody telling me what I can't do. Man, you don't know me. You don't know what I'm built from. You don't know what I'm made of. That officer said, man, I see you again. You losing your mind. You're losing your mind. That you think I'm so gullible and so weak to come back here? You're losing your mind. Oh, you got to move from Houston in order to make it in comedy. Man, that sounds stupid. You know, a prophet ain't welcome his own. Why not, though? Why not? And all that is asinine that you're saying to me. Don't worry about it. I'll show you.
Right. Is it I'll show you or I'll show me?
It's both.
Mm-hmm.
Because I say this all the time. Anytime somebody tell me they're a perfectionist, they're not going to accomplish anything.
Right.
Because the perfection is in the tries.
Mm-hmm.
No scientist got it right the first time. He kept going until he did perfect it. You're a perfectionist or you're a perfecter. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I'm not funny yet.
Yeah, so you said that.
I'm constantly trying to get to the space because it's time, the day, why you got so many iPhones?
Right. They keep improving.
They keep improving.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't stopped with iPhone 1. They could have stopped then.
Yeah. This is my 31st year in radio, right? And I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning every day. I make a mistake every day. I haven't met everyone that listened to me yet. My best shows haven't happened yet. And so when I asked you that and you said that, I was like, I know exactly what he's talking about.
You know how genius that is? You 31. You 32 years or 31?
31 years.
31 years in, right? I was privy enough to work with Funky Larry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He was at radio when he has a different type of relationship with Miss Hughes. She called him Lawrence Gregory by his government name. And he was Dr. Lawrence Gregory when he was somewhere else. And then when he became Funky Larry Jones, he has been doing radio 51 years. He started radio when I was born. And I used to listen to him on the radio.
Right.
So when I got an opportunity to work with him, I would soak up so much from I'd be on the other side of the board and he'd just see me looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wasn't there one day. And they say, Ali, you're gonna have to start the show. Okay. And I told people, I said, this is my first time at being the helm of the ship.
Right.
And I sounded just like Funky.
So you weren't scared, you were prepared.
Yeah, because I've been sitting there watching somebody who has been doing it since I was born.
Did you know that with hustling, being incarcerated, fighting life, all the life things that you went through, was that tuition into the school of experience for what you do now?
I've accepted it now. I didn't know it at the time.
Right.
I get in situations now and then I go back in my memory bank and be like, okay, here's the recipe for that.
Yep. Okay, yeah, this is how I handle this one.
And sometimes I forget and then I have friends that'll remind me. And that's the thing about picking your tribe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, friendship is essential to the soul. So you have to have good friends around you that you understand don't have any malice for you. My friends can say anything to me because they're my friends.
Right.
I don't think, man, it's like this, like how I am now and where I am now. If somebody asks me, how did I get here? This is a book that I'm writing. It's called Applied Advice. It's almost finished. We in the last editing. And I put down 13 people that said things to me that not only did I hear it, I applied it. Sometimes you can get somebody some advice and they never do it. You're like, so would you just wasting my time?
Yeah.
And
Is
I
Dick
really,
Gregory one of those?
oh yeah, he's definitely one of those. He's in the book because it was just really an honor to soak up from this world genius.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was an incredible experience. And like we talked for 3 hours after the show, after both nights, 3 hours. And he would just pour into me. And I never forget his statement. Like people get mad about this, but I never lie on a legend or anybody else. Especially you don't speak ill of the dead.
Mm-hmm.
When that man looked me in my face and told me how I needed to get my attitude together because I was gonna take his place. And then said, but nigga, you got to wait until I die.
Mm.
You ain't gonna get it now. When I'm gone, people will look to you saying you gonna be different. And when he passed, I was, this was crazy. I hadn't been this hurt, and I'm only gonna be hurt for you get a couple hours out of me. Because then you start going into being ungrateful. Okay. I'm gonna explain it. I see your face.
Yeah. I think, but go ahead.
When people pass, the people who crying the hardest and got all these tears are the ones who wasted the time of that person. You're crying about time that you'll never get back. If you understand life, it's only one guarantee that you will die. So if you don't be ungrateful for the person's time, I'm gonna say everything I need to say now. I'm not going to be so careless in thinking that, oh, I got time to say it tomorrow, or I got time to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do everything and treat you every kind of way. My dad passed and I stayed on tour. I buried my dad February 24th of 2018. He died on Valentine's Day. His last phone call to me was about my son's chess game. I just called to check on my son's chess game. I said, man, I'm gonna work on it when I get back. I asked him did he see the trailer for my special? He said, man, I saw it. I had paid all my father's debt. We had talked about everything that we had needed to discuss. That man wasn't mad at me. I wasn't mad at him. My grandmother had passed like in December. He passed in February, right? We back to December and February. I played chess with him for at least, because I stayed an extra day just to play with him. I play after my grandma's funeral. We played like for like 7 hours. Like we would start a game a while, and I never beat him. I only beat him like 3 times in my whole life.
And this is the December before?
This is December before he passed, right? So then I stayed an extra day just to play chess with him again all day. And I never forget that I had him. I know I had him. I know I had him. I'm finna checkmate my daddy. This is finna be time number 4. And my Uncle Mac said something to me. And I said, "What'd you say?" And then I turned back around and I just, the play is gone. Play is gone, right? My dad checked me. He gonna say, "Keep your eye on the prize. Don't get distracted." And I swear my daddy moved the piece. I swear. I like on everything he moved the piece.
Was that his brother that called you around?
Yeah, Uncle Mac, old dirty Mac. Man. Because it's right there. I know it's right there.
Man.
So I relish in these moments, my pop, whether he was an ideal or not. I'm not going to leave with any anger or let him leave here with any anger. My mom, I love my mom to death. Something happens to my mom, it's the cycle of life. I don't have no regrets with my mom. My mama stay up the street from me. You know what I'm saying? My mama was looking for a house and kept coming by my house. I'm like, man, this is nice. I said, okay. I said, how long before you got your lease? My mama was like, I got about 3 months. Cool. I diligently found another house in the same neighborhood. We moved, got all our stuff out. My mama came over that house empty. I said, yeah, move your stuff in here. You good. What?
Your house?
Yeah. I said, what? I said, yeah. You ain't gotta have no escrow money or nothing. You ain't gotta just move into this house. My mama, like she had the U-Haul around the corner.
Right. Before you change your mind.
Yeah, my mom was in that house, and I don't have any. Like I bought another crib. My mom comes by and she waters the garden every day. I'm like, you could have bought my mama for $3 last week when I called her and said, hey, I need some help planting this stuff. And she came over on her way from the university, stopped by, got out, and we out there just planting and fussing and planting. And I'm like, and it reminded me of being in the garden with my grandmother, her mom. And this was her piece. Like, man, I don't have any regrets. I would like to spend more time with my sister who stays right around the corner, but she got her own stuff going on, But I'm not gonna shed tears for the only guarantee. Now I'm being ungrateful to the creator because this is what's going to happen. And that's what loss was about. Being prepared for these things and not wasting any time. People be wasting their friends' time and wasting their family's time and wanting to go crazy after. I didn't do it. Now it's what you didn't do.
It's about you.
Now it's become selfish. It's about you. And I hate that term of, I'm giving you your flowers now. Man, don't commercialize no nonsense with me. Man, talk straight with me. You know what I'm saying? It's an honor every time I get a chance to sit down with you. I think I hit you and just say, man, I was just thinking about it, brother.
Man.
Because it came across my mind.
You hit me was like, man, it's not about an interview, bro. You was like, I'm just
hitting you, bro. It's like, when I called DL, like I know this was talking about this good night thing. And that's crazy, but I saw yours too. That was crazy.
Right.
I just want to say night to you.
Right. If I would have called you on the good night, man.
I was like, hey, big boy, man, yeah, bro.
Hey, man, you probably would have got me like, yeah, okay. Good night. Yeah, night, right? Good.
Yeah, the night is good.
Yeah. Let me take you back to what night means.
But you know what's crazy? When I call a friend of mine, any friend, hey, bro, I ain't called for nothing. Just tell you I love you, bro. May not have heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, say, bro, man, you don't know how much I need.
Yeah, man.
And you know where that came from? I'm in the grocery store. And it broke my heart too. I'm in the grocery store. And this dude walking with his two sons. And I'm walking with my son. And he sees me, he lights up. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Man, you been the best part of my day, bro. I was down until I saw you, man. Man, you done made me smile. What? Nah, bro, you man, this is the first time man, I smiled all day. Say her son. And your two sons step over. Yeah. Put them to the side. I said, bro, I don't know if you even gonna take this wrong, but at this point, it don't matter. You walking with your two sons and you said that I'm the first time you smiled. And don't ever let them hear you say that. Because you should see them and have so much joy in your heart that they hear. And they should motivate you every single day. I say, you see my son, bro, that's the best part of my life. So I don't know what you're going through, but I would like for you to correct that so they don't grow up with a scar on their face. Say, bro, you right. And my classic saying, I said, I knew I was right when I said it.
Mm.
Never saw him again, but I hope that no entertainer, no other person is the brightest spot in his day versus those two little boys that was with him.
You know what's wild? I was not expecting that as the finale. Because sometimes you would get people and they say, man, you really did this for me. And you take it. You're like, oh, okay, man, cool. But it was the kids and what was said and how it was said. And it's crazy, man, because kids hear, feel, like those are sponges, man. Because I can remember, and I have my rest in peace to my mom. I had a beautiful mom, right? But I could tell by no words at all when my mom was sad. No words at all when she was scared. No words at all. Even a look if I wasn't right. Like when I got into crazy shit, right? I remember one time I was walking out the house looking crazy. My mom didn't say nothing, bro. All she did was looked at me. As soon as I closed the door, I was like, oh shit. Like I knew exactly what that was. So your kids, your babies know. And you probably gave him something, bro, that was like a deposit that he'll continue, God willing, to make great deposits on top of. Because and it came from a loving place.
Yeah.
If he took it as love, but
And
he said you were right.
That's the thing. You with your friends and with people, you have to be loving towards their situation. Not some people will take that compliment. And it's really like this with me. Anything that I say that's a benefit to you comes from the creator. Anything that I say wrong comes from me. And I hope that whatever I say wrong, you don't even remember. Just remember the right that was said.
Right.
And
plus, I think you still living and learning too, though.
I'm living and learning every day, and it's the enjoyment. Like I've gotten to a place now where I just enjoy the journey. I just enjoy the journey, man. Like my two sons, I'm just enjoying the journey, and it's things that people miss on my two sons. When I said I got two sons, got my old son, and my new son. One of them, I will be able to give a kidney, and the other one, I'm gonna have to buy one for.
Right.
And he's like, what that even mean? It's my stepson. He's not my biological son, but he's my stepson. And me and his mama not even together. You know what I'm saying? We've been separated since he was 15. But I made a pact with his father. I told his father, because his father went away, I told his father, hey, I got him until you come home.
Is that the one, the son that got the hands?
Yeah, that's straight. Both of them got hands.
Right.
That's crazy. Both of them left-handed. That's crazy too. Both of them can box. And who knew he was going to be gone for 20 years? 23 years. Boy, gone for 20 years. I'm like, man, what is going on?
I got you till you come home.
Man, he come, man. I say, bro.
I'll never do that again.
He get on this. I'm like, bro, how long it gonna be?
Are you a comedian?
That's I don't know anymore. Because was Dick Gregory a comedian? It's
wow.
It's like you transcend from one thing to another. Like because I don't know, because I'm definitely offended when somebody say, man, you was doing this bit. I say, a bit? A bit?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but I wasn't doing no bit. I was telling a story about something that happened to me.
Right.
Or happened to my friend. Like, this is a real life thing. This is not a bit of truth, bit of entertainment, bit of lie. It's not none of it. This is
funny thing happened to me on the way here.
Yeah, this not a 1-2 dance. This is and this is classic Black community.
Mm-hmm.
How I learned everything in life was based upon a story. It wasn't based upon a bit. Based upon a story.
Were you ever like the 1, 2, 3 guy? Boom, boom, boom.
When I first started, that's why
because you thought that's what comedy was, or being
man, comedy. Not knowing how. This is a thing where you don't know how to do it, where to start. You have to start to kind of figure out where you're going. So the development of how I came up, Dez White was, I used to be all over the place, run all over the stage. So Dez White was the first person I saw that would just stand there. Never took the mic out of the stand, would come and sit his drink on the stool and just talk. Then Paul Mooney, he's on the stool the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Then Cosby in the chair. So you start to look at the craft and say, this is funny, but how long can you run around on stage all day? This is funny, but you have to develop to be able to trust your words. This is hysterical. You have to be able to entrust your words and your intelligence. This is the epitome. You have to be comfortable enough in your skin to trust your words, your ability, your intelligence, and be able to paint a picture now from the seat.
But your cadence now is amazing too, bro, because you'll come right out. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you come out, it's almost like, of course, we feel like we know you. But you won't come on and be like, hey, how's everybody going? All right, yeah. Oh, you looking good. You just come on like, I'm too old to be fist fight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and we're like, And the set, but that right there, bro, not that you can't teach somebody that. Like I can't teach you how to dictate your life. When I first got into radio, a guy by the name of Rick Cummins, he said, I could teach you radio, but I can't teach you personality. And from that on, all I could be was me. You know, I don't have the, hey, what's going on, everybody? I didn't have the radio voice. I didn't know radio when I got into radio. I listened to the radio. I love music, but I didn't know radio. And I think that's what worked for me is that I just came in one day and, you know, I was thrown into it. And the only thing that I had was me, my stories. One of my biggest things was this Hebrew song that I used to sing on air that I learned in fourth grade when I was 9 years old, not knowing that this was going to be the shit that catapulted me in Los Angeles, was singing this Hebrew song over a hip hop beat. But it was all those little life things that I was like, oh, okay. You know, I asked my guy, I said, man, what am I going to do every day in this radio thing? You know, and I would write down all kind of shit, little bits and this. And I was like, all I could be is me. And every day, just show up as me. I've lived on air. I've talked about my mom passing. People, they know about my kids. They know about my ex cheating on me. They know about my wife. They know about my gastric bypass. They know about my losing 300 pounds. Because all I could do is be me.
The best you're gonna be is based on how honest you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Back to DL's
How
statement.
do you know what not to let somebody in?
About being comfortable.
Mm.
What you comfortable sharing.
Right.
Man, I don't care how somebody feel about something that I share, because it's not your experience. And
What about your kids?
And I understand that you don't have any rights to judge my experience.
Mm.
With my children, they know whether you willing to be honest about it or not is different than
Right.
me.
This is my truth.
Yeah, just like, man, I can't, my mama, okay, I'm not gonna say which one. But one of my kids had trouble with wetting the bed.
Which one? No, just
I cannot, how I manage that is a little different than a normal parent, because I already know. I got a mama who would be like, so what's happening now? And they got in trouble for what? Not the same thing you used to do. So you gonna just bring that up, huh? You know, we don't care about the age. We talking about what you did, though.
Right.
Little pissy. It's like, so you gotta manage that better than that, because you forget. And I think this is what my superpower is.
Mm.
I have the ability to remember when I was in third grade, what it was like to go to seventh grade from sixth grade, when I was uncomfortable with something, when I wasn't at my best. I don't have this, oh, I'm here and I've always been here. No. I developed to here, and how I developed there, because I remember when I did not have this. So, and people are like, well, you ain't got that in comedy. I say, that's why I come somewhere and host. That's why I come somewhere and feature. I feature for somebody and then go to a theater and be sold out just coming to see me. I don't have this egotistical thing, because I'm more addicted to the stage than the ego of what position I go in.
But you didn't desire to be on. You know how some people, when they're kids, did you desire entertainment? Because with me, I knew that I wanted to do some form of entertainment. And I did it all. Rap, breakdance, DJ, everything, acting. I knew I just wanted to be that. Did you aspire for anything?
I wanted to be a chef. And before that, I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. So I think, but the things that I liked, if I go back and think about the things that I liked, right? I liked the show Fame performer. I loved KRP in Cincinnati.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Loved it. I'm talking about would watch it and liked every different personality in it. So if one of the movies that, and I went back and looked at this real story and everything, that really helped me, Talk to Me, Petey Green. I'm talking about absolutely loves this movie and love the actor, Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle, everybody who I like, it has multiple strengths. They can do a lot. And people like, when they ask me about my favorite actor, I'm going to say Don Cheadle. I'm going to say Tom Hanks. What about Denzel? I love Denzel. But these are my guys that I look at. Just like,
keyword is my.
Yeah, right. with Jordan, right? I'm not going to start my team with Jordan. I'm going to always start my team with Magic Johnson. Then I'm picking Bill Russell. I'm going to pick the most ambidextrous person that can play. He can play all 5 positions. And then the greatest basketball mind and basketball player is Bill Russell. And I have a strong argument when it comes to Bill Russell because of this. It teaches me how black people will diminish somebody else's career. I'm talking about put Jordan, put all these Russell's people, but not the person with 11 championships. Right.
And Bill Russell, didn't he coach the team too?
This is the thing. Who did he play against? And he ain't play against. He played against the Mormons. You try to knock down his accomplishments by the era that he played in. But watch. If you ask any of these people of a lighter hue who's the greatest coach of all times, they're going to bring up Red Auerbach. They're going to bring him up. But who did he coach? Bill Russell. He didn't win a championship till Bill Russell got there. And then now the most entrusted position in racist Boston town is the head coach of the Celtics. After Red Auerbach retired, who became the coach? Bill Russell. And he won 2 more championships as he was playing.
Right. Put me in, coach.
Got 11 rings. But you want to act like this man, because of who you commercially liked and who was great, but you didn't see Bill Russell play.
Right.
Casey Jones and all the rest of them Celtics are in the Hall of Fame as well. Undersized center. He played against Wilt. He didn't just play against some Mormons. What are you trying to what is this thing about we can't honor the ancestors or the trailblazers of our community? It's a weird thing to me. Nobody else does. Like if you start a hip hop discussion with me, I will not entertain a hip hop discussion with you if your fool ass start with Tupac and Biggie as the best there. You're a jackass. And you don't know nothing about music. Nothing about music. So the person who is considered God MC that nobody argues with, he's not the best lyricist. So you went over Ice Cube, you went over LL, you went over Busta, you went over Heavy D. Biggie is nowhere close to Heavy D. Nowhere close. Somebody who got all 12 of his songs played on the radio and he had to kill nobody and sell no dope. What is your damn criteria? somebody who wrote for Soul For Real and multiple other artists, what is your criteria of who the best goddamn MC is? So they better than Kane?
Right.
So, man, what are you talking about? If this argument gets heated because your criteria is so full of shit that so you trying to tell me it was no dope records made before somebody started selling drugs and being destructive to the community. So no dope records was made? Right. Oh, wow. You're a crazy town. But that's coming from somebody who's been around since rap existed.
Yeah. That's why when people ask me my top 10 or top 5, I don't give it to them. And then I always tell people, I say, man, you wouldn't understand my top 5. You wouldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because my top 5 exists because I've been around it. And hip hop, my mom, whatever, was this, you know, and I say the Four Top Supremes, the this, the that, but hip hop was mine. I loved everything else, but hip hop was mine, bro. Before it got commercialized, before it got on radio, before it got, you know, so that was I studied hip hop.
When you talk about MCs,
I lived.
It's like, man, the people who are, did you walk around with a piece of cardboard under your arm?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Did you, first of all, when I got into this, there was no hip hop. All the layers haven't even been completed yet. It was rap.
Yeah.
There was the fashion hadn't come in yet. The dancing hadn't come in yet. It was the DJ with a breakbeat, MCs, and then all the other layers start to form, like Voltron. But man, it wasn't hip hop from the jump. But what you're not gonna tell me is that the pioneers. So there was a greater storyteller than Ricky?
Slick Rick.
like I remember like Cinderfella, Dana Dane.
Come on, I was just about to yell Dana.
I'm like, man.
Delancey Street, Nightmares.
So the message is still one of the greatest songs in hip hop. That a child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. Do you understand what's being said?
You, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you go through. Exactly, bro.
Man, you KRS.
Yeah, that's my edutainment. When you must learn, that's how I learn so much.
I got a letter from the government.
Oh yeah, I just had Chuck here.
Yeah, man.
I opened and read it. They said they were suckers.
They wanted me for their army or whatever.
Picture me giving a damn.
I said never.
Yeah.
So when we talk about revolutionary, so he's a revolutionary, right? Okay, so I'd be like, so what was KRS? So what? Like, I remember learning letters to words, words to phrases to paragraphs. I'm like, ain't that how you learn how to read?
Yeah, man.
Like, what are you saying when you talk about hip hop when it is, man, I just don't understand what the criteria is to greatness.
Right.
When I listen to the song Smile, right?
Scarface Smile?
Yes. And he walked, and this is crazy. I know that this happened before he walked in. He said, as I walk in to do this record with Jay, I got a call from my boy. His son passed away. And the first thing he did, he called his girl. And man, do you understand the layers of this? And then I go back to...
And Smile, this faces after he greets his father with his hands out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rehabilitate his life. Glad to be the man's child. The world is different since he's seen it last.
Man, And then you talking about people who create a lane for themselves from Houston without no lane. You gotta think Coogee rap. You gotta think, man. I've never heard do 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 do. And I'm like, oh, like this. Man, it's hip hop is so dear to me that when people diminish it with these viruses of top this and top that, because MCs used to just want to be MCs. I wasn't comparing my verse to your verse. I was getting on stage doing my thing. I never thought about who was the best on 6 Minutes. Never thought about it. Was it Dougie Fresh? Was it MC? I never thought about it.
Right. The show, yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey man, I never thought about when I heard it, when MCs together who was the best one. I never thought about it. I just enjoyed the record.
Right. And there's been the friendly competition. You know what I'm saying? It's always sharpens, still sharpens to this.
And some of these competitions wasn't even.
Yeah. Some of them we made ourselves too.
We man, MC Shan and
Karis
won. The bridge is over. They wasn't mad at each other. They was like, this is rap. Fat boys, skinny boys. I love both of them. But when you get, man, I took something from an MC, and this is why I am like I am today. I walked out the hotel, this dude looked at me, and then I looked off, and then I looked back. I said, you thought I was gonna look you off? I see you recognizing me. I'm not gonna look you off. Let me tell you why. Because Chubb Rock told me never to do this. Never to do this. Because you will be a has-been and plus naked.
Yeah. So we owe them. So pull out your pen, sign an autograph. You might make a new friend. Yeah, man. Yeah. Right. So, and that's before you even on and before you famous.
Before I'm anything.
Yeah, man.
So that's, man, it just, and we won't put things in their proper perspective. I never thought KRS-One was violent, even though on his thing he did because he was doing Malcolm.
Yeah. By any means.
By any means necessary. And I'm not white, I'm black nor brown.
From the
Boogie Down Productions. And this is a song called Criminal Minded.
Yeah, man.
You've been blinded. Like, oh man, it's and just like with Rakim. I used to roll up. The hold up. Ain't nothing funny, stop smiling, but still don't nothing move but the money. But I learned
to earn
because I'm righteous.
I feel great.
Maybe I might just search for a 9 to 5.
And if I strive, maybe I'll stay alive.
So I'll walk up the street, whistling this, feeling out of place, because man, do I miss a pen and a paper, a stereo, or taper, me and Eric being a nice big plate of fish, which is my favorite dish.
But without no money,
it's still a wish.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Man, it's just when you listen, man, Mona Lisa, man, it's a thing about these MCs.
Yeah, man.
That you listen.
And it's crazy the total recall that you'll start, and the total recall of how that tattooed your brain, though. Like when you would say something, I'm right there with you. Because it meant something. It was tattooing your brain, bro. These are words that you remember and for the rest of your life because what it felt like.
And being a criminal was the worst thing. That man said, you must be a thief because you got a mouth full of gold teeth. Ricky said, me?
Yeah.
Man, sit down and eat your piece and be quiet. Like,
yeah, man.
Like don't put no type of crime towards me. You know what I'm saying? Even when he did, that dude, when he was robbing and doing all that, Dave the dope fiend shooting up dope.
Who don't know the meaning of water nor soap.
I need bullets. Hurry up, run.
The dope fiend came back with
a dope shotgun. Like he was like, man, this ended bad.
Yeah. And that's what Ice-T did as well, man. A lot of Ice-T's lyrics, it started off like glitz and glamour. Then at the end, everybody died or everybody got locked up or some shit.
How do you overlook DMC?
Mm-hmm.
Ron DMC, man. Ron DMC was so dope and so educational. Man, I used to just sit back and like, man, this is the epitome.
But you gotta think with DMC too. Bob Man said, I'm DMC in the place to be. I went to St. John University. And after 12th grade,
I acquired the knowledge.
Yeah, and after 12th grade, I went straight to college. Yeah, man.
It was saying, I'm light skinned. I live in Queens.
And I love eating chicken and collard greens. Yeah,
yeah, man. Like, man, when you...
And you think at this moment, you're in Texas.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in Cali. And we're finding this common ground through this thing called hip hop.
It was like the movie. I remember I watched that movie, Brown Sugar with Mos Def in it. And he's talking about hip hop was a first love. And I'm like, I think it was really my first love, man, because I lived by. When you asked me questions earlier, and it dawned on me how to get somewhere, and I always remember and be grateful for the position that I'm in because these are the breaks. And it's all type of breaks. You know what I'm saying? Brakes on the car. Brakes to make you a superstar.
Brakes to win and brakes to lose. But these brakes will rock your shoes.
And these are the brakes.
Yeah.
Break it up, man.
And that's life when your woman steps out with another man.
That's the brakes. That's the brakes.
And she runs off with him to Japan.
That's the brakes.
And I didn't even know. And the IRS says they want to check. I didn't even know what the IRS was, bro.
I didn't know what they were.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know what a Stackophiliac was either.
Man. Hey, man, even in Rapper's Delight, when he said she heard stories and she heard fables that are vicious on the mic and the turntables. I was like, you know,
man, that man said he had a pool on the wall. I said a pool on the wall.
Yeah.
Like,
so after, and you know that's the one of that's written. That's Grandmaster Caz, man.
Man, and it's these man. And then you talk about Cube. There's no way he's not. Man, Cube was on another level.
Yeah, man. I recently had Ari Spears in here, right? And he said he never liked Cube as a rapper or an actor. I was like, you know, and we're having a conversation to each his own.
New York cat.
Yeah. Oh, and you know, and he named, you know, Jay-Z, Nas, and I loved him, but spitters. And I was like, come on.
And I get it. There you go, Jay-Z, Nas, but then forget about Kane. Okay. You went to people who you're never greater than the original.
Amen. And Kane put you in the club.
Raw.
He put
RIW, a terrorist. Here to come trouble you, phony MCs. Man,
yeah, move on with ease.
What are you gonna do with him?
Yeah. I'm at my apex and others are below. Nothing but a milliliter. I'm a kilo. Second to none, making MCs run, so don't try to step to me. Because
I ain't the one.
Like, just like Tylenol. Yeah, man.
Oh, it's like, how do you forget about Just Ice?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
LaToya. Oh my God, man.
MC Lyte?
Oh.
Lyte was insane. Like, man, I'm like, you are mixing the bowl and not putting the real fruit into the bowl. Like, man, come on, man.
And then there's times too, Ali, where I say, you know what, and I've talked to the neighborhood about this, like, we got on at an earlier on-ramp. You know what I'm saying? And wherever you get on your on-ramp on, like my son at one point, oh, such and such is the GOAT. Okay, that's where you got on your on-ramp. my on-ramp with hip-hop and life just happened before. But I'm not sitting here saying that there was no road behind me. Like my on-ramp is where everything was created. You a fool.
You know what makes us better though? Even though that's a perfect analogy about on-ramp in the road. Because you still, even though hip-hop is rap is ours, you still have the healthiest respect for the Temptations, Whispers, Marvin Gaye, you know what I'm saying? Sheila E., Minnie Riperton.
Yeah.
You didn't stop with your era because you listened to your parents' era before you even got to your era. And like my son, man, man, if you even whisper anything about Earth, Wind, and Fire, this little boy is gonna lose it. Like, what do you mean? Earth, Wind, and Fire? And he's gonna, man, y'all don't play instruments. This is Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's the barcades. You know, he's gonna go into the books on you like, yo, man, do you understand who George Clinton is?
Right.
Like, that's my daddy friend. So, Coltrane, Najee, PM Dawn. You have a, so I'm not uneducated enough to just stick to what I know and not go get a healthy understanding of where this comes from.
Yeah.
Man, I'm all the way down to the blues. Like, I listen to the blues and people ask me who my favorite is. Alfred King. Man, if I don't have bad luck, I ain't got no luck at all.
Right. But we say that still, man. If it wasn't for bad luck,
and you don't even know where it come from. This is a song. Man, I will listen to
bad luck.
I would listen to R&B all day. All day, because it's the peace. Man, when I go back and I listen, one of my favorite songs is He's So Shy by the Pointer Sisters.
Right.
Because my mom would be riding and she would be singing it, and she's singing it to her son.
And would you throw the line back at her? He's so shy. Hey man, do you remember the Love Boat?
Yes, I remember Love Boat.
Do you remember when the Pointer Sisters came on the Love Boat and Isaac sung He's So Shy?
Lost it.
Yeah.
He lost it. Man. It's like in Car Wash. Car Wash is my favorite soundtrack of all time. If you talking about putting something on, Car Wash is my favorite soundtrack. I'm talking about the original Car Wash. Every song by Rolls Royce.
Yes, sir.
Besides one by the Pointer Sisters.
Okay, gotcha.
One song by the Pointer Sisters. You got to believe in something.
Why not believe in me?
Let the Wilson sisters sit, man. Oh, man.
You never wanted to be like an artist? Did you ever rap? Did you ever sing? No. So you just a spectator in the game. You love what you were listening to.
I left that for my boys.
I want to ask you one question before we break out of here. Your first night of comedy. Did you get booed your first night?
What? Did I get booed?
So you're coming home 2 months later after getting out of prison. You go and get on stage.
Yeah. And man, okay, this is how I got booed. Was my lesson in observation. So I went to a Just Joking Comedy Cafe, and they have an Apollo night. And I'm going up on Apollo night where they doing everything, juggling, singing, rapping, doing everything. Sitting there on fire.
It's amateur night.
It's amateur night. And they have a guy named Terry Gross who is the host and the Sandman. And some gospel singers figured it out. Some singers figured it out. Do a gospel song.
Oh yeah, because you can't boo the Lord.
So they go up, and then Terry said, "Oh, y'all know y'all tripping here tonight. Y'all ain't booing nobody." You know what I'm saying? And he's encouraging him to boo, and then here I come. Give it up, Ali. He's supposed to be a comedian. And at the time, I'm working at this men's apparel store, Mosa, suit on. And the suit, I must say, it was shark skin, had a little sheen. So I get on, and I said, "Hey, how y'all doing?" And these big boy, if I tell you, they were booing from the diaphragm. Like they was booing from
Right. They
gut.
meant that.
I'm talking about calling me Rev and booing, and then Terry dives on stage like he's a missile. And he boom, and then he like he blew up. I just walked off. I sat down. My boy Dre said, "Man, what happened?" I said,
"Not Dre out here."
"No,
Okay.
no, Andre King." He said, "Man, what happened?" I said, "Man, you saw what happened. They booed me, man." He said, "Man, where your jacket?" I said, I left it up there. They booed the jacket on me. Man, I got booed, and it gave me a kind of a phobia. Because as I was getting booed, Earthquake walks in. So the first time Earthquake see me, I'm getting booed, right? Then some months later, I'm at this club called Semper's, right? And I'm arguing with these guys that were making noise at the bar. Earthquake walks in. I'm bantering back and forth, arguing with somebody back and forth. Then another spot, months later, I'm getting into it with somebody, Earthquake walks in. And he just look at me. It seemed like I just can't do good in front of Earthquake. This is me. I just don't want Earthquake there.
Earthquake got the cooler.
And why is he in Houston so much?
Right.
He's not from here. Why is he in Houston? So then, 99, I win this competition earlier that year.
Wait, what year did you come home?
97.
So 2 years later.
18 months later, I'm September of 99, I'm taping Comic View. It comes out in 2000. They tape it earlier. And so 99, earlier that year, I had won this Def Jam search. And they give you a jacket and everything. I still got the jacket. I win that, and that means I get this opportunity to open up at the arena. It is D.L. Hughley, Anthony Brown, Earthquake, Ricky Smiley. And Bruce may be on that show as well. J. Anthony Brown is hosting. Then it's going to be me. Then everybody else. Earthquake walks in and sees me. And looks right in my face and said, "Hey, try not to get booed." And I'm like, this. Like I was doing good until you walked in. In my mind, I was doing so good until you walked in. I go out, kill. And Jansen said, "Hey man, you doing?" Quake just looked at me. Finally, you didn't got it together. That was a good 5 minutes. So now every time he see me, you know, and we have a really good relationship. Like I love Quake. And Quake is one of the only Black comedians outside of DL and that invite me to something personal. Like he invited me to his birthday party and I flew out here for it. I was invited. So I'm definitely coming to kick it with Quake. DL invited me to his Christmas party. I definitely came. You know, I don't get invited to a lot of things. You know, like they not inviting me to the NAACP Awards. They not inviting me to the BET Awards. They not inviting me to the Emmys. I was only at the Tom Brady roast because of my publicist. You know what I'm saying? But Black people don't invite me to nothing, even though they know me. It's people that we've mentioned today that has called me for advice, for material, for direction, and they don't invite me to nothing. Don't invite me to anything. And they numbers in my phone for asking for real help.
even as we're sitting here today, BET Awards is going down.
I've been
And I'm
here
like,
since
man, y'all
Saturday.
here for the BET Awards? You like,
I performed at this theater, United Theater on Broadway, and that is it. And doing press, and that is it.
man.
They're not gonna ask me to do nothing. But then when people see me, oh, what's up, boy? Blah, blah, blah. But that's the problem with the being commercial in this business. If I call and tell you that you one of the best radio personalities I've ever had the opportunity to sit down with. So then when I'm on an interview with somebody, I'm not gonna say Wolfman Jack and all these case. I'm gonna say Big Boy, Funky Larry Jones. I'm going to say the people who I say it to. I'm not going to now just let me say everybody's thing. That was one of the big things that I appreciated with Lil Rel when he was on Shannon Sharp, that he asked about his top 5 and then he mentioned me. And I was like, that was outstanding, because why call and tell me that I'm dope, but then when you get an opportunity, you just mention all the same people.
Yeah, the so-called top 5.
And those people know, it's like I was on a tour with Samore, Don D.C. Curry, Lavelle Crawford, Bruce. I'm first. You just put Jordan first, and they not oblivious to this. They like, no, this is a monster that's coming first. She didn't pick no weak lineup. She can interchange this lineup. Samore can interchange this lineup whenever she wants to. Anybody here can close. You talking about somebody who has gotten to a point where, man, I don't care who before me or who after me. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know who's going first, who's going last. I'm
hey, man, I say the same thing about Busta. No matter where you put Busta at on that show grid,
trouble.
Matter of fact, you better not try to move anything around. Like, oh man, Busta should go before me. That's a bad move. That's a bad move.
And my respect for any of the elders, I'm not gonna try to outshine the elder. I'm gonna just come and do a little bit and get on out the way. But as soon as you say something like, oh, he got it. Who got to do what? Okay, cool. And then I do this. I'm gonna tell that story.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell that story, and then. But now you're talking about somebody who can tell one story for an hour and 20 minutes. I'm basically the greatest storyteller in all of comedy. And I don't care. I'll just tell anybody, well, play with me then.
Mm-hmm. No,
let's get on the same court.
If anybody can debate that, bro, like, your shit is fucking amazing. And once I got a hold of you, and like whatever my Ali Siddiq on ramp was, and then when I started to backtrack, and I didn't know that there was comic views. I didn't know all, and I'm watching like, oh, okay, shit. But then also what I love about you, and I know we got to wrap up real quick, I love how you've taken your destiny into your own hands. You know how people are like, man, I got to get that. Oh, I got to get that HBO. I got to get that. You're like, nah. I shoot this shit myself, put it on my YouTube, see my actual views. And even right now, man, like, and now are you doing other comedians as well?
Yeah, I produced Marcus D. Wiley's special, Marriage is Major Surgery.
And he's in the millions as well.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because even right now with My Two Sons, as we sit down, that's like at 5 million views. And that's real views.
Yeah. In less than 3 weeks.
Come on.
And then
super serve your audience.
Rugged comes out on Father's Day.
And you know what's wild about that? I know you probably sat and tried to play the game. When are they gonna call?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The game, and I'm gonna make this one fast. When Comedy Central, the game blew up with Comedy Central. When they put we got a special with them. They put it out. They aired it at 11:59 on East Coast time to catch the West Coast people, but they showed it one time. And I realized that this ain't it. This is not the game that I want to play. And I didn't want to be I think that we'll say, oh, you got to be independent, but then we literally want you to be recognized by them to solidify your independence. Yep. Man, every time somebody, I never thought I would be at this point. Every time somebody say you need a Netflix special, it just enrages me. Because all I hear is you need somebody to own you.
Right.
You need somebody else to validate you. So I spend the money, everything's look highest quality, you know what I'm saying? But I still need somebody. What do I need them to do?
Right.
Oh, I need them, so you will say that I'm...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we click through a lot of that shit too, man. I'm on Netflix, and I click through, and I'm like, sometimes you get lost in the sauce too, bro. You know what I'm saying? But Ali Siddiq, I appreciate you, brother.
Brother, always,
man. Come on. And I do another thing called the Hangout, man. We got to sit, and I want to put you on the couch. And just what we were talking about, get somebody else in there with us and just hang out. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate your time. And please, man, not only keep us laughing and entertained, but it's just something about what you do that, I mean, bro, it grabs us and it keeps our attention. And there's a message in the comedy. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, Ali.
Thank you.
Thank
brother.
you, man. Thank you for hanging out with us, man. Thank you for being here, man. And thank you for being off air with us.
Thank you, man, for even allowing me on your platform. And if you want to call me and say good night, I'm not going to answer. I'm like, nah. I know it's late. Nah. It's late.
I got another one. I'm going to call you.
It's late. I know what this is about.
Big calling.
Big calling.
8:30 his time. Like, nah. Ali Siddiq, man.
Like that. What's up?
What's
up?
Oh, you on speaker, huh? Right. Okay. All right. I got you. I know what you're doing. I'm just going to play along with him. Ali Siddiq, man. Thank you, my brother. Off air, Big Boy.